Dear ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to ask ourselves, what does it mean to be wise? What does it mean to be foolish? Who is really stupid? And who is truly intelligent? You see, intelligence is not about how many books you've read or how many degrees you hold. Intelligence is about how gracefully and wisely you navigate life. But today we are talking about stupidity. And not just any stupidity, the kind that some women carry with them unknowingly like a heavy burden. Now, before the man in the room starts smiling, let me warn you, stupidity is not gender biased. It exists in all of us. But since we are discussing women today, let's go deep into this with clarity. Here are 6 signs of a foolish woman. If you recognize yourself in these, it is not an insult, it is an opportunity to wake up. And if you don't recognize any of these, maybe you are asleep. 1. She seeks validation from the world. A foolish woman is constantly looking for approval. Do I look good? Am I liked? Do people respect me? The wise woman does not live for compliments, she lives for her own truth. If you need others to tell you that you are worthy, you have given them the remote control to your happiness. 2. She fights battles that do not matter. Arguments, drama, ego clashes, these are the pastimes of an unwise mind. If you find yourself endlessly debating, proving a point, or seeking revenge, you must ask yourself, what am I really winning? The truly wise woman knows when to speak and when silence is more powerful. 3. She prioritizes appearance over substance. There is nothing wrong with looking good. But if your entire self-worth depends on how you look, then you are missing something deeper. Wisdom shines from within. If your mind is chaotic, no amount of makeup can hide it. 4. She clings to toxic relationships. A foolish woman keeps going back to people who hurt her. She confuses attachment with love. A wise woman knows when to walk away. If someone disrespects you, they do not deserve access to your energy. 5. She spends but does not invest. Whether it is time, money, or emotions, a foolish woman is careless. She spends hours scrolling through meaningless content, wastes money on things that do not add value, and gives emotions to people who do not deserve them. The wise woman invests. She invests in her growth, in her peace, and in her future. 6. She blames others for her life. My husband is like this. My boss is unfair. My family does not support me. A foolish woman lives in blame. A wise woman takes responsibility. If you are waiting for others to change so that you can be happy, you will wait forever. Final thoughts. So are you foolish or wise? The good news is, wisdom is a choice. It is not about intelligence or education. It is about waking up. If you recognize these signs within you, smile, because now you have the power to change them. And that, dear ladies and gentlemen, is true wisdom. A foolish woman constantly looks outside herself for validation. She is always seeking approval from the world, whether from her family, friends, society, or even strangers on social media. Her self-worth is determined not by her own understanding of herself, but by how others perceive her. If someone compliments her, she feels good. If someone criticizes her, she feels low. Her entire emotional state is at the mercy of others' opinions. This kind of existence is exhausting. Imagine waking up every day and wondering, will people like me today? Will they appreciate what I say, how I dress, or what I do? This is not freedom. This is living in a mental prison where the key is held by others. A woman who constantly chases validation does not have control over her own happiness. She gives that control to anyone willing to comment on her life. If people praise her, she feels valuable. If people ignore her, she feels invisible. If people criticize her, she feels broken. This cycle continues endlessly, making her dependent on external forces to feel a sense of self-worth. Look at social media today. Many women and men too are trapped in this cycle. They post pictures not because they enjoy the moment, but because they want likes, comments, and admiration. If a post gets a lot of engagement, they feel important. If it doesn't, they feel insecure. This is the height of foolishness, allowing something as fleeting as social media engagement to dictate your self-esteem. True confidence does not come from numbers on a screen. It comes from knowing who you are beyond others' opinions. A wise woman, on the other hand, understands that seeking validation is a dangerous trap. She does not need constant reassurance to feel good about herself. She knows that opinions change, people are unpredictable, and external approval is never permanent. What is admired today might be criticized tomorrow. What is praised in one culture may be frowned upon in another. So instead of chasing approval, she focuses on inner clarity. She asks herself, am I living a life that is true to me? Am I doing what feels right in my heart? If the answer is yes, She does not care whether the world claps or stays silent. It is not wrong to enjoy appreciation. Everyone likes to be acknowledged. But when appreciation turns into dependency, it becomes a problem. A foolish woman lives for validation. A wise woman lives for her truth. And the irony is, the moment a woman stops seeking approval and stands firm in her own confidence, people naturally respect her more. True power is not in begging for admiration, but in living so authentically that admiration becomes unnecessary. A foolish woman often engages in conflicts that add no real value to her life. She argues over trivial matters, insists on proving she is right, and gets emotionally entangled in unnecessary disputes. Whether it is an argument with her spouse, a disagreement with a friend, or a debate on social media, she invests her energy in proving a point rather than seeking wisdom. She sees every disagreement as a battle to be won, but in reality she is only exhausting herself. When a person constantly fights, their mind remains in turmoil. Their peace is stolen, their energy is drained, and their emotions become unstable. A foolish woman does not realize that not every argument is worth engaging in. She does not differentiate between what is important and what is irrelevant. If someone makes a passing comment about her appearance, she takes offense. If someone disagrees with her opinion, she sees it as a personal attack. She feels the need to respond to every criticism, to prove every point, and to defend herself against even the smallest remark. This obsession with being right consumes her, leaving no space for real growth or self-awareness. Imagine a woman who argues with her partner every day over minor issues. One day it is about how the dishes are arranged. The next day, it is about who forgot to switch off the lights. Instead of understanding that small inconveniences do not define the relationship, she turns every mistake into a conflict. In the workplace, she is constantly in disputes, either with colleagues or with her boss. She takes things personally, gets offended easily, and refuses to let go of minor issues. This kind of mindset creates unnecessary stress, making life more difficult than it needs to be. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. A wise woman understands that not every battle needs to be fought. She does not waste her time and energy proving her intelligence to those who are unwilling to listen. She does not get emotionally entangled in conflicts that lead nowhere. If she encounters a situation where someone disagrees with her, she assesses whether the argument is worth engaging in. If the discussion adds value, she participates with grace. If it is just ego-driven noise, she simply moves on. The true power of a woman lies in her ability to choose her battles wisely. Some fights are worth having, those that protect her dignity, her values, and her loved ones. But petty conflicts, unnecessary drama, and meaningless debates, they are nothing but distractions. A wise woman prioritizes her peace over temporary victories. She understands that silence can be more powerful than words, and walking away can sometimes be the greatest strength. A foolish woman, however, sees arguments as a way to establish dominance. She believes that winning an argument means winning in life. But in reality, she is only losing time, energy, and peace. The more she engages in unnecessary conflicts, the more she drains herself emotionally and mentally. She does not realize that true intelligence is not about having the last word, it is about knowing when to let things go. Ultimately, a wise woman does not fight battles that do not matter. She understands that life is too short to waste disputes. Instead of arguing for the sake of arguing, she focuses her energy on what truly brings her growth, happiness, and fulfillment. A foolish woman places excessive importance on her appearance while neglecting the true essence of who she is. She believes that her worth is determined by how she looks, how well she dresses, and how others perceive her physical beauty. She spends hours in front of the mirror, carefully curating her looks, making sure every strand of hair is in place, every inch of her face is flawless, and every outfit is perfect. She believes that if she looks beautiful, she will be loved, respected, and valued. But what she does not realize is that external beauty is temporary. It fades with time, changes with age, and is easily overshadowed by someone younger, prettier, or more stylish. If a woman's entire self-worth is tied to her looks, what happens when she ages? What happens if an accident leaves a scar on her face? What happens if fashion trends change and she can no longer keep up? If she has not nurtured anything beyond her appearance, she will find herself lost, insecure, and struggling to find meaning in her life. There is nothing wrong with wanting to look good. Beauty is a wonderful thing, and self-care is important. But when beauty becomes an obsession, when a woman prioritizes appearance over character, wisdom, and substance, she is setting herself up for disappointment. A foolish woman invests in makeup, expensive clothes, and trendy accessories, but does not invest in her mind, her soul, or her personal growth. She can spend hours shopping, but cannot spend 10 minutes reading a book that could change her perspective. She follows beauty influencers, but does not seek knowledge from wise thinkers. She knows all the latest skincare brands, but does not understand how to take care of her inner peace. Imagine a woman who looks perfect on the outside, flawless skin, designer clothes, expensive jewelry, but the moment she speaks, she reveals ignorance. She has no depth in her thoughts, no clarity in her words, and no wisdom in her actions. She may impress people for a moment, but that impression quickly fades when they realize there is nothing meaningful beneath the surface. True beauty is not just about looking good, it is about having a strong, confident, and graceful presence. A wise woman understands that her real value does not come from her face or her figure, but from her mind and her soul. She knows that outer beauty may attract attention, but inner beauty earns respect. She takes care of her appearance, but she does not let it define her. She nurtures her intellect, sharpens her wisdom, and builds a character that shines brighter than any diamond. Have you ever met an elderly woman whose face is wrinkled but whose presence radiates wisdom and warmth? People are drawn to her not because of her youthful beauty, but because of her grace, her kindness, and the depth of her experience. That is true attractiveness. It does not fade with age, it grows stronger. A wise woman understands this, while a foolish woman chases an illusion that is bound to slip away. In today's world, where beauty standards are constantly changing, many women struggle with self-worth. They compare themselves to models, celebrities, and influencers, feeling inadequate if they do not match an unrealistic ideal. But the truth is, no matter how beautiful a woman is, there will always be someone more attractive. If a woman ties her value to her looks alone, she will forever live in insecurity. However, if she builds her confidence from within, no external force can shake her. Ultimately, a woman's real power does not come from her reflection in the mirror, but from her depth, intelligence, and inner strength. True beauty is not about flawless skin, but about a mind that is clear, a heart that is kind, and a soul that is wise. A foolish woman clings to toxic relationships, mistaking attachment for love. She holds on to people who repeatedly hurt, disrespect, or neglect her, believing that if she just tries harder, gives more, or changes herself, things will improve. She convinces herself that suffering in a relationship is a sign of loyalty, that patience will transform an unhealthy bond into a beautiful one, and that love means enduring pain. But in truth, love should never feel like imprisonment. She remains in relationships that drain her, making endless excuses for the mistreatment she receives. If a man ignores her feelings, she tells herself he's just busy. If he speaks harshly, she thinks maybe I provoked him. If he is emotionally unavailable, she assumes he will change one day. She spends her life waiting for a transformation that may never come, trapped in a cycle of disappointment. A foolish woman confuses familiarity with security. Even if a relationship makes her unhappy, she prefers to stay because the idea of being alone terrifies her. She would rather suffer in known pain than step into the unknown and find something better. She convinces herself that it is better to hold on to a damaged relationship than to start over. But what she does not realize is that holding on to something that destroys her is not a sign of love, it is a sign of fear. She also allows toxic friendships to drain her energy. She tolerates people who gossip about her, use her for their benefit, or only appear when they need something. She surrounds herself with negativity, mistaking longevity for loyalty. Just because someone has been in her life for years does not mean they deserve to stay. A person's presence in her past does not guarantee their worth in her future. Yet, a foolish woman struggles to walk away because she fears losing people more than she values her own peace. Even in family relationships, she tolerates disrespect because of societal expectations. She believes she must endure everything in the name of maintaining relationships, even if it comes at the cost of her mental well-being. She bends over backward to please everyone but forgets to ask herself, am I happy? She has been conditioned to believe that self-sacrifice is noble, that enduring suffering is a virtue. But what she does not realize is that constantly sacrificing herself for others does not make her good, it makes her exhausted. A wise woman, on the other hand, understands that true love does not require suffering. She knows that love should uplift, not destroy. She is not afraid to walk away from a relationship that is built on manipulation, disrespect, or dishonesty. She knows that if someone truly values her, they will treat her with kindness and care. She does not waste her energy on people who repeatedly show her that they do not appreciate her presence. She also knows the difference between helping someone and losing herself in the process. While she may offer support to a partner or friend who is struggling, she does not make excuses for repeated toxic behavior. She does not believe in saving someone who refuses to save themselves. A wise woman understands that people do not change because of endless patience. They change only when they choose to. She is also selective about the friendships she keeps. She does not tolerate gossip, backstabbing, or one-sided relationships. She surrounds herself with people who respect her, support her, and bring positive energy into her life. She does not hold on to friendships just because of history. She holds on only when there is mutual respect and growth. In the end, a foolish woman believes that suffering is proof of love, while a wise woman knows that love should never require the destruction of one's peace. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of strength. A woman who values herself knows that walking away from toxicity is not losing, it is choosing herself. And choosing oneself is the most powerful decision a woman can ever make. A foolish woman does not understand the difference between spending and investing. She mindlessly spends her time, money, and emotions on things that do not contribute to her growth. She indulges in temporary pleasures, impulsive decisions, and distractions without thinking about long-term consequences. Instead of using her resources wisely, she wastes them on things that bring no real value to her life. When it comes to money, she is careless. She spends on luxuries she cannot afford, buying expensive clothes, accessories, and beauty products just to impress others. She accumulates material possessions but lacks financial security. She believes that looking rich is more important than being financially stable. Instead of saving or investing, she prioritizes instant gratification, new handbags, high-end makeup, and trendy outfits. She maxes out her credit card, spends recklessly on shopping sprees, and constantly feels the need to keep up with societal expectations. But at the end of the month, she finds herself stressed, wondering where all her money went. She does not think about the future. She does not save for emergencies, she does not invest in assets, and she does not consider financial independence. She depends on her spouse, family, or external sources for financial security, believing that someone else will always take care of her needs. But life is unpredictable. The people she depends on may not always be there, and without financial wisdom, she will struggle when circumstances change. A wise woman, however, understands that money is a tool, not just a means to satisfy temporary desires. She spends wisely, saves diligently, and invests in things that bring long-term value. She does not buy unnecessary luxuries just to impress others. Instead, she builds wealth, creates financial security, and ensures that she is never dependent on anyone. She understands that true richness is not about how much she spends, but how well she manages what she has. A foolish woman does not only waste money, she also wastes her most valuable resource, time. She spends hours scrolling through social media, watching meaningless gossip, and engaging in activities that do not contribute to her personal growth. She spends her mornings consumed by distractions, her afternoons indulging in mindless entertainment, and her nights gossiping about other people's lives. She procrastinates on important tasks and never takes action toward her goals. She complains that she does not have enough time to learn new skills, improve her life, or achieve her dreams. Yet she spends hours every day on things that do not matter. She also invests her emotions in the wrong people. She gives her heart to those who do not appreciate her, invests her energy in toxic relationships, and wastes her kindness on those who take her for granted. She repeatedly forgives people who do not deserve her trust, thinking that her love will change them. She holds on to friendships that drain her, relationships that harm her, and connections that bring her nothing but pain. She does not realize that her energy is precious and should only be given to those who truly value her presence. A wise woman, however, is selective about where she places her time and emotions. She invests her time in learning, growing, and building a meaningful life. She reads books, learns new skills, and surrounds herself with people who inspire her. She understands that time is more valuable than money because once it is gone, it can never be regained. Instead of wasting hours on distractions, she uses every moment wisely to improve herself, her career, and her future. She is also careful with her emotions. She does not pour love and effort into people who repeatedly hurt her. She does not engage in toxic relationships that drain her energy. She understands that not everyone deserves access to her heart, and she protects her peace by choosing her relationships wisely. A foolish woman spends without thinking, whether it is money, time, or emotions. A wise woman, however, invests in things that add value to her life. She knows that every decision she makes today will shape her future. So she makes choices that lead to success, happiness, and fulfillment. A foolish woman resists growth and refuses to learn from her mistakes. She repeats the same patterns, makes the same bad choices, and blames others for the consequences. Instead of reflecting on her actions and understanding where she went wrong, she finds excuses, shifts responsibility, or plays the victim. She does not take accountability for her life, believing that her problems are always caused by someone or something outside of her control. When she faces failure, she does not ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead, she says, "Why does this always happen to me?" She does not recognize that every setback is an opportunity for growth. If she gets into toxic relationships, she does not analyze why she attracts the same kind of people. Instead, she assumes that men are simply untrustworthy. If she fails in a job, she does not evaluate her skills or work ethic. She blames her boss, her co-workers, or the system. She refuses to accept that her choices shape her reality. She also resists new knowledge. She believes that once she reaches a certain age or position in life, she knows enough. She does not read, she does not seek wisdom, and she does not challenge her own thinking. She assumes that whatever beliefs she grew up with are the ultimate truth and refuses to consider new perspectives. If someone offers her constructive criticism, she gets defensive instead of using it as an opportunity to improve. If someone suggests a better way to do something, she takes it as an insult rather than advice. Imagine a woman who always complains about her financial struggles but never takes steps to educate herself about money management. She spends recklessly, avoids learning about investments, and refuses to change her habits. Every month she wonders why she is broke, but instead of looking inward and making better financial decisions, she blames the economy, inflation, or bad luck. She expects her situation to change without changing herself. A foolish woman also ignores valuable advice. When someone wiser tries to guide her, she dismisses it. She listens only to what she wants to hear and rejects anything that challenges her comfort zone. If an elder advises her to be patient in marriage, she calls them outdated. If a successful person tells her that discipline is the key to achievement, she says they had better opportunities. She seeks validation for her mistakes rather than guidance for her growth. A wise woman, on the other hand, understands that life is a continuous journey of learning. She acknowledges her mistakes, analyzes them, and makes conscious efforts to improve. She does not repeat the same errors and expect different results. She understands that if she wants a better life, she must first become a better version of herself. She actively seeks wisdom from books, mentors, and experiences. She surrounds herself with people who challenge her to think, grow, and evolve. She does not let pride stop her from learning something new. If she fails, she does not blame the world. She looks within, finds the lesson, and applies it moving forward. She also welcomes feedback. She understands that growth is uncomfortable but necessary. If someone points out a weakness, she does not react with anger. She reflects on whether it is true and how she can improve. She is not afraid to admit when she is wrong because she knows that acknowledging a mistake is the first step toward correcting it. In life, everyone makes mistakes. The difference is that a foolish woman repeats them, while a wise woman learns from them. A foolish woman resists growth, while a wise woman embraces it. One remains stuck, while the other constantly evolves. A foolish woman seeks validation from others rather than trusting her own worth. She depends on external approval to feel valuable, constantly looking for reassurance from family, friends, society, or social media. She does not believe in her own strength, intelligence, or abilities unless someone else confirms it. Her happiness is tied to how others perceive her, making her emotionally vulnerable and easily manipulated. She worries excessively about what people think. If she wants to pursue a dream, she hesitates, fearing criticism. If she expresses her opinion, she immediately looks around to see if others approve. She dresses not for herself but to impress others. She measures her self-worth by how many compliments she receives, how many likes she gets on social media, or how many people admire her. She is trapped in a cycle of seeking attention, always needing external validation to feel good about herself. This dependence on approval makes her easy to control. If someone disapproves of her, she feels unworthy. If society pressures her to fit a certain mold, she conforms even if it makes her unhappy. If a partner manipulates her, she tolerates it because she fears losing their approval. She is unable to make independent decisions because she constantly looks outside for confirmation. A foolish woman also allows other people's opinions to dictate her self-esteem. If someone praises her, she feels confident. If someone criticizes her, she feels worthless. She does not realize that true confidence comes from within, not from the changing opinions of others. She gives too much power to external voices, allowing them to define her identity and self-worth. Imagine a woman who is talented but never pursues her dreams because she fears judgment. She wants to start a business but hesitates because people might think she is not capable. She wants to change her lifestyle but worries about what her friends will say. She wants to speak her truth but remains silent, afraid of rejection. She lives a life dictated by others rather than choosing what truly fulfills her. A wise woman, on the other hand, understands that her worth does not come from external validation. She does not wait for others to approve of her choices. She believes in herself. She dresses for her own confidence, pursues her goals without seeking permission, and does not let criticism shake her. She knows that no matter how good she is, there will always be people who disapprove. So she focuses on what truly matters, her own growth and happiness. She also understands that true confidence is internal. It does not come from compliments, followers, or social status. It comes from knowing who she is. She does not need constant reassurance because she is secure in her abilities. If someone criticizes her, she evaluates whether it is constructive. If it is, she learns from it. If it is not, she ignores it. She does not waste her time worrying about opinions that do not serve her growth. A wise woman makes decisions based on what is right for her, not based on what will please others. She is not reckless, but she does not let fear of judgment stop her from living fully. She understands that she cannot control what others think, so she focuses on controlling her own mindset. In the end, the foolish woman seeks validation from the world, while a wise woman validates herself. One is a prisoner of opinions, while the other is free. A foolish woman allows emotions to control her decisions rather than using wisdom and logic. She reacts impulsively, speaks without thinking, and lets temporary feelings dictate her actions. Instead of analyzing situations with clarity, she is driven by anger, jealousy, insecurity, or momentary excitement. She makes choices based on how she feels in the moment, often leading to regret, conflict, and unnecessary suffering. When she is angry, she lashes out, saying hurtful words she later regrets. She allows her emotions to explode without considering the consequences. She creates drama in relationships, argues unnecessarily, and lets small problems escalate into major conflicts. Instead of stepping back and assessing a situation calmly, she reacts instantly, worsening situations that could have been easily resolved with patience and understanding. When she is jealous, she lets it consume her. If she sees another woman succeeding instead of being inspired, she feels resentment. She competes, compares, and envies rather than learning and growing. If her partner talks to another woman, she immediately assumes the worst, creating unnecessary tension in the relationship. She lets insecurity control her rather than developing trust and confidence. When she is sad or lonely, she makes reckless decisions to fill the void. She might get into unhealthy relationships, seeking comfort in the wrong people. She might spend money impulsively to distract herself from emotional pain. She might overeat, overdrink, or engage in destructive behaviors just to escape her feelings. She does not pause to process her emotions or find healthy ways to cope. She simply reacts without thinking about long-term consequences. A foolish woman also lets excitement cloud her judgment. If something seems thrilling in the moment, she jumps in without thinking. She trusts people too quickly, believes empty promises, and makes hasty decisions without considering the risks. She might enter relationships with people she barely knows, invest in things without research, or commit to situations she later regrets. She mistakes temporary excitement for lasting happiness, only to realize later that she acted too soon. A wise woman, however, understands that emotions are temporary and should not dictate permanent decisions. She feels her emotions but does not let them control her. When she is angry, she pauses before speaking. When she is jealous, she uses it as motivation to improve herself. When she is sad, she processes her feelings in a healthy way instead of making impulsive choices. She also knows the importance of emotional intelligence. She practices self-awareness, recognizing when her emotions are influencing her thoughts and actions. She takes time to reflect before reacting, ensuring that her decisions align with logic and wisdom rather than temporary emotions. If she is upset, she steps away to calm herself before responding. If she feels insecure, she reminds herself of her worth rather than seeking external validation. A wise woman also understands the difference between intuition and emotional impulsiveness. While she trusts her instincts, she does not let fleeting emotions cloud her judgment. She analyzes situations carefully, asks questions, and considers all perspectives before making choices. By mastering her emotions, a wise woman maintains peace in her relationships, avoids unnecessary drama, and makes decisions that lead to long-term success and happiness. She understands that emotions are powerful, but wisdom is even stronger. A foolish woman wastes her energy on meaningless gossip, drama, and negativity. Instead of focusing on her own growth and success, she becomes consumed with the lives of others, constantly discussing who did what, who failed, who is struggling, and who is making mistakes. She finds entertainment in the misfortunes of others, not realizing that every moment spent in gossip is a moment wasted on unproductive thoughts and actions. She surrounds herself with people who thrive on negativity, people who complain, criticize, and bring no value to her life. She engages in conversations that do not uplift, educate, or inspire her. Instead of discussing ideas, dreams, or opportunities, she talks about people, fueling unnecessary drama. She does not realize that the energy she invests in gossip could be used to improve her own life. She also allows drama to consume her emotions. If someone insults her, she reacts aggressively, unable to ignore petty behavior. If someone spreads rumors about her, she becomes obsessed with proving herself rather than focusing on what truly matters. She involves herself in unnecessary conflicts, wasting time and energy on matters that do not contribute to her happiness or success. A foolish woman also gets easily offended. She takes everything personally, assuming that every comment or action is an attack on her. If someone gives her constructive criticism, she reacts defensively instead of learning from it. If someone succeeds, she feels threatened rather than inspired. She allows her emotions to be controlled by external circumstances, constantly feeling like a victim instead of taking charge of her own life. Imagine a woman who spends her days gossiping about her neighbors, her colleagues, or celebrities. She knows every detail about others' failures but does not spend time improving herself. She talks about how someone's relationship ended, how someone's business failed, or how someone gained weight, but she does not reflect on her own growth, health, or progress. She wastes her energy analyzing other people's mistakes while making none of the efforts needed to improve her own life. A wise woman, however, values her time and energy. She understands that gossip and drama do not contribute to her growth, so she avoids negative conversations. She chooses to engage in meaningful discussions that inspire and educate her. She surrounds herself with people who encourage progress, not those who thrive on complaining and criticizing. She also knows when to walk away from negativity. If someone tries to drag her into pointless drama, she does not waste time defending herself, she simply removes herself from the situation. If someone insults her, she does not react emotionally, she remains calm, knowing that her energy is too valuable to waste on meaningless conflict. A wise woman also controls her emotions. She does not allow others to dictate how she feels. If she faces criticism, she filters out what is constructive and ignores what is meant to bring her down. If she hears gossip, she does not engage, she redirects the conversation to something positive. She focuses on her own life rather than becoming overly invested in the lives of others. By refusing to waste energy on gossip, drama, and negativity, a wise woman protects her peace, stays focused on her goals, and builds a meaningful, successful life. She understands that energy is limited and should only be used for things that truly matter. A foolish woman ignores her personal growth, believing that she already knows enough or that improvement is unnecessary. She remains stuck in the same mindset, avoiding opportunities to learn, evolve, and expand her potential. She does not challenge herself intellectually, emotionally, or spiritually, preferring comfort over progress. Because of this, she remains stagnant while others around her grow, improve, and achieve greater success. She avoids learning new skills, thinking that education ends after school. She does not read books, listen to valuable insights, or seek knowledge beyond her daily routine. If a discussion about self-improvement arises, she dismisses it as unimportant. If an opportunity to develop a new ability presents itself, she avoids it, believing that she is either too old, too busy, or simply not capable. She does not realize that knowledge is the key to personal freedom, financial success, and emotional well-being. She also resists change. If life forces her into new circumstances, she complains rather than adapts. If a better way of thinking is introduced to her, she rejects it, holding on to outdated beliefs. If she sees someone improving their life, she criticizes rather than learns from them. She fears stepping outside her comfort zone because it requires effort, discipline, and growth. Instead of becoming better, she remains the same, unaware that stagnation is the greatest failure in life. A foolish woman also lacks self-awareness. She does not take time to reflect on her strengths, weaknesses, and areas of improvement. If she has bad habits, she refuses to acknowledge them. If she faces problems, she blames the world rather than looking inward. She repeats the same mistakes because she never takes time to evaluate her actions. She assumes that she is always right, never considering that there may be better ways to live, think, and behave. Imagine a woman who complains about her life but never takes action to improve it. She feels unhappy in her career, but she never invests in learning new skills. She struggles with finances, but she refuses to educate herself on money management. She faces difficulties in relationships, but she never works on emotional intelligence or communication. She wants change but refuses to change herself. A wise woman, however, understands that growth is a lifelong journey. She constantly seeks new knowledge, knowing that the more she learns, the more she can improve her life. She reads, listens, observes, and applies wisdom to her daily actions. She is open to new perspectives and willing to change when necessary. She also takes accountability for her personal development. If she faces challenges, she does not complain, she finds ways to grow from them. If she makes mistakes, she does not repeat them, she learns and improves. If she sees someone doing better than her, she does not feel jealous, she takes inspiration and strives to elevate herself. She embraces discomfort as a sign of progress. She understands that growth often requires struggle, patience, and resilience. Instead of avoiding challenges, she welcomes them, knowing that each obstacle is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. A wise woman also cultivates self-awareness. She regularly evaluates her thoughts, actions, and behaviors to ensure she is evolving. She asks herself, what can I do better, rather than assuming she already knows everything. She understands that the greatest investment she can make is in herself. By committing to continuous self-improvement, a wise woman ensures that she never becomes stagnant. She rises above mediocrity, unlocking her full potential and living a life of purpose, wisdom, and fulfillment. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, the difference between wisdom and foolishness is not in fate, luck, or external circumstances, it is in the choices we make every day. A foolish woman remains trapped in the same patterns, unaware of her potential, while a wise woman consciously shapes her life through growth, awareness, and self-mastery. The good news is that wisdom is not something you are simply born with, it is something you can cultivate. Every moment presents a choice: to repeat mistakes or to learn from them, to seek validation or to build self-worth, to waste energy on gossip or to invest in self-improvement, to let emotions control you or to rise above them with intelligence and clarity. If you recognize any of these foolish traits in yourself, do not feel discouraged, feel empowered. Awareness is the first step to transformation. The greatest mistake is not making mistakes, it is refusing to learn from them. You have the ability to grow, to evolve, and to become a stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled version of yourself. So choose wisdom. Choose growth. Choose to live a life that is not dictated by emotions, external validation, or stagnant thinking. When you do, you will not only elevate yourself, but you will also inspire others to do the same. And that, dear friends, is the true power of wisdom.